Hey, what's up guys, Anif here, and today's video we're going to talk about the top 10 mistakes you're most likely making in your Amazon business. So basically, I've had the privilege to obviously now have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is absolutely amazing, and also have hundreds of people in my fast track program. And with spending so much time with so many people, I've realized a lot of repeating things and mistakes that beginners make on Amazon. A lot of these mistakes that we're going to go over are actually mistakes that I made myself when I was first starting off. I just started on Amazon about 2 years ago, and now I've grown 2 Amazon businesses to multiple 6 figures per year, but it was not always this easy the whole time, right? So there's obviously a lot of different obstacles I've gone through, and I'm going to share those mistakes with you right now. So without further ado, guys, let's get right into the video. All right, so like I said in this video, we're going to talk about the top mistakes, also basically the reasons why 99% of people who try Amazon will probably fail. So watch this video in its entirety. I know it's going to be like 5-10 minutes, so if you have some time, pay attention to this because it's going to be pretty important, and some of this stuff here is going to actually save you literally thousands of dollars and probably hundreds of hours in mistakes. So number one, without wasting any more time, let's just get right into it. What I've realized is that 99% of people are going to continuously watch YouTube videos, read blogs, go on websites and forums all about Amazon FBA, and never actually take action. That's probably number one on the list, and I want to put this really early on the list because a lot of people fail, 99% of people fail because they never even gave it a shot. They never even tried. You go there and you overwhelm yourself with tons and tons of information. And, obviously it seems like a lot when you take it all in at once and you don't know how to implement strategies. So that's number one, is that 99% of people fail before they even get started. And along that same line is that people are going to go out and learn. They're going to learn how to do product research. They're going to learn how to find a product. They're going to learn what makes a good product. And then they're going to go out and try to do product research. After you learn that maybe took you 5 hours, then you go out and you product research for 1 hour. And you realize that, this isn't actually as easy as people make it out to be. I can't go out and find a $1 million product in 3 minutes on Amazon. It takes a lot of time. And on that same note, for me, if I actually was overwhelmed with the information out there, if I actually didn't spend time doing the work, especially the product research part, I wouldn't be where I am today, right? I took, for my first ever product, I know many of you guys probably know this, but if you guys are new to the channel, for me to find my first product, it took me 4 weeks, about 7 to 10 hours per day to find my product. And that's just doing product research. That's not counting, actually learning how to do proper product research and how to, analyzing products, all that stuff. Just doing product research took me 4 weeks to actually find a product. And if you guys don't know how that product went for me, basically my first month on Amazon just over 2 years ago, I made $24,000 in revenue. So basically the first thing is giving up before you even gave it a shot. So that's number one. Number two on the list is actually something that a lot of people fall for as well, especially super beginners, is that when you go out and find a product, you are actually looking for that $1 million product, $1 million per month product. People are looking to go from literally zero, literally broke, to making $500,000 a month or $100,000 a month or $50,000 a month. That's an outrageous amount of, that's an outrageous jump to make. And I'm not saying that that's not possible, because it somewhat happened to me in my first month. But that's kind of the biggest mistake that a lot of people make, is that they're not actually doing product research the right way. And when you're not doing it the right way, you go out and you look for hours on end for a product and a niche and a market that really doesn't exist, right? This whole perfect Amazon product doesn't exist. You aren't most likely going to find a product that's going to make you $50,000 a month in 1 month. And that's basically the issue. People continuously try to get rich quick, and you can't do that. It doesn't work, especially if you want a long-term business, something that's going to continue to bring in money month over month and year over year. If you guys want to know exactly what I think is the best way to find products, the best strategy, and also the best mentality behind going in and finding a product, then make sure to actually hit the link underneath this video. There's going to be a free training if you haven't watched it already. I'm going to show you 3 different secrets that I learned over the past 2 years that helped me throughout the journey. And the first secret that I'm going to share with you is actually the proper mentality and exactly how I go out and find products to sell on Amazon. So it's not going to be anything glamorous or clickbaity or stuff like that. You're not going to, I'm not going to talk about finding a $50,000 product in 3 minutes. But if you're looking to, grow a real Amazon business and actually start making money and having positive cash flow, having a profitable business, then go register for that and check it out. It's going to be amazing. Number 3, and this is something that I personally, so now we're going to start into some stuff that I personally did and personal mistakes that I've made. And this mistake right here is number 3 on the list, which is selling a restricted product or selling a product that is patented. For those of you who have been on the channel, for a while now, you've probably seen my video where I talked about how I actually got a product taken down because it turned out to be patented. So I actually invested into a product and it made me some good money, and it was bringing in money month over month. And then one day I got an email from Amazon telling me that my product, my ASIN, had been removed off Amazon because of a patent claim, a utility patent infringement, I think it was. And basically the reason for that was because I didn't take in the proper precautions to actually find out if my product was patented or if it was restricted or if it was something like that. And that's something that I noticed, that it's not just me who made that mistake. There's a lot of people who go out, especially if you're not doing this with a mentor or you haven't taken a course or something like that. That's one thing that a lot of people don't talk about. That's so important to know, right? If you're looking at products and everybody on the first page is making $50,000 a month with 3 reviews or 4 reviews or something like super low and stupid, then you have to ask yourself why exactly this is happening. And in a lot of those cases, what's actually happening is that these are restricted products or patented markets or niches where the people in there are only selling for a couple weeks and then they're getting removed. So if you're looking to get rich quick or kind of get just a quick cash grab, then you can go into those markets. But most likely what's going to happen is you're going to be stuck with thousands of dollars in inventory if you do that. So it might look like they're doing well, but they're going to get removed off Amazon and they'll be stuck with a ton of inventory. So make sure, do the proper due diligence, go out, get a Fiverr patent check, pay someone on Fiverr to do a patent check for you, go out and do a proper, check if this product is actually restricted on Amazon or not. Take some time, but if you're actually in this for the long run, then go and do it, because guess what? It's going to hurt a lot more if you have thousands of dollars worth of inventory that you can't sell anymore. Number 4 is cashing in on super trendy or fad type products. Now, I personally have never actually done this, but I know a lot of people who have. If you guys were around on Amazon during the fidget spinner craze, there probably were tens of thousands of people who went on and tried to jump on that trend to make some money from it. Now, in reality, there were probably only a few dozen or maybe a couple hundred of people out of the tens of thousands who actually made some decent money from it. But if you're not the first to the game, you're not going to make it from a trend or fad type product. Now, this also falls together with a seasonal type product. If you aren't aware of how to run a seasonal business or how to run a seasonal product, then it's probably not a great idea for you to go into something like that. If you haven't learned from a mentor, if you haven't learned how to do this, it can be extremely risky to go into something that only sells certain types of the year or certain times of the year, and maybe at just, something that's just super trendy. It's if you're not done correctly, you can lose a ton of money, right? Obviously, with trend type stuff, it goes up, super crazy demand. You think it's going to be amazing. Every time you reorder more and more and more units. You reinvest most of your profits back into ordering more units because you think that this is never going to end. It's getting so good, it's getting so awesome. And you go from getting 1,000 units to 5,000 units to 10,000 units, then to 20,000 units. And then one time you order like 20,000 units and then the trend just crashes. And that happened to so many people with the fidget spinners and stuff like that because, the trend died. And what happens obviously then is that there's a huge, massive supply but no demand, and you're left with 20,000 fidget spinners stuck in your garage with nothing to do and no one that wants to buy it. So for first time beginner sellers, something that they usually try to go into sometimes is these trend and fad type products. Stay away from them unless you're a more experienced seller and you know exactly how to manage your cash flow properly. So that's number 4, guys. Number 5 we have here is not reinvesting in your business. And this one is kind of interesting because we just went over, people reinvesting too much into their business with the fad products. When you're actually growing a real business and with real products, real demand, and you're growing a real brand, one thing that people don't do, and this is something I didn't do as well with my first ever product, one that made me a decent amount of money, the first month, is I went from being completely broke to having for the first time ever, some money in my account, and I didn't know, how to treat it. So obviously I did stupid stuff, and not that I went out and bought a Lambo or that I did something, that stupid, but I took some of the money out of the business and I didn't reinvest all of it back into the business. And what that did to me is that didn't help me that actually prevented me from scaling and growing my business as fast as it could have been. So I think in that first month, if I reinvested most of my money, like 99% of it, back into the business, I would have been way more ahead on Amazon than I am now. I think it really does depend on those first couple months and how much of that money you reinvest back into your business. A lot of people, they make a few dollars first, some money first, and they take it and they put it back in their pocket. Now, you guys are going to get killed by people who are actually ready to grow a real brand, real business, because those people are not going to care about their money. They're not going to care about bringing in money and putting it into their pocket and going out to nice restaurants and going to do awesome stuff or fancy vacations. They don't care about that. And those people are going to wipe you out, because those people are going to take the money, reinvest it back into the business, and order more inventory for cheaper prices. They're going to order new products. They're going to continue to build their brand, and they're going to crush you. So the first thing as a beginner, okay, as soon as you start seeing some success, don't let it go to your head, okay? Reinvest the money back into the business, keep growing your Amazon business, and get more products, get higher quality, and just continue to grow. And that's mistake number 5 on this list. Number 6 is shiny object syndrome. I see this a lot of times, literally with probably 90% of sellers. People always want to go out and do the coolest, newest thing, because they think that that's the way they're going to see success. So for example, one time I remember I had a student who talked to me and asked me, hey, can you, I want to run some, Facebook ads to some messenger bots and run through some funnels for my Amazon business. And I'm like, dude, you just launched like 3 weeks ago. Why are you worrying about Facebook ads, messenger bots, funnels, all this crap that you haven't even, fully optimized your Amazon PPC? You just launched your PPC like last week. What are you looking for, to do Facebook ads or Google ads or any of that stuff? Like, those things are huge. Those are like a huge learning curve. If you guys think Amazon is hard, running paid advertisement is probably just as difficult as that. Many of you guys probably realize this when you try to run PPC for the first time. You realize that, hey, this is much harder than I thought it was going to be. And that's totally normal, because it's not easy, right? It takes time to learn. It takes money to learn. So before you go out and try to look over here for this next cool thing or look over there for this next cool gadget or software or tool, stick to what works. Get good at what works. And once you're an expert at that, once you're an expert at in-house PPC on Amazon, then go out and try to play around with Facebook ads. Then go out and run your messenger bots and do all that funnel stuff and whatever. It takes work. It takes time to learn that. So if you don't even know how to run a proper Amazon business, if you're in your first product, you don't even have a brand yet, you have like 10 reviews, don't go out looking to run Facebook ads. It's going to hurt you a lot more in the long term. Number 7 on this list is going at it alone. This is something that I know a lot of people go through. If you guys are starting an Amazon business, or if you're just getting started right now, you probably know that it's very hard to find like-minded people around you. So it's very difficult, because probably your family are being naysayers. Most of the time, families are your biggest naysayers, the people who are gonna, kind of hold you back a little bit, even though they love you and they care for you. It's them that a lot of the time make it impossible for you to succeed. When I was first starting off, one of the biggest issues I had was trying to continue to stay motivated when everyone around me was telling me that, this is stupid, stay at school, study, your thing, stop being, go. Because when I was starting my Amazon business, I was actually, during exam period while I was in university, and I just kind of scrapped my exams. I didn't even study for them. I just went and I was working on my Amazon business, and my parents were pissed at me, and everyone was telling me you're being stupid and all that stuff. And if I didn't do that, then obviously I wouldn't be here today, making this video for you guys. So obviously, we know it's very difficult to go out this alone, especially when, everyone around you is kind of a naysayer. So you need to find like-minded people. You need to find people like the people we have in the, in our Facebook group. So for example, the Advanced Amazon FBA Facebook group, I'll leave a link in the description. Go join us there, right? We have, I think, almost 5,000 members there. And everyone's, asking questions, helping each other, motivating each other, keeping everyone in the loop. And I'm also in there pretty often, adding in value and talking to people. So if you guys aren't in that group, you're really missing out, because you need to surround yourself with like-minded people. Another thing, go in terms of the going at it alone thing, is people think that you can just go out there and, some people think they're kind of above getting a program, above having a mentor. They think they can do it all themselves. They think that they are, some next just genius who can figure this out themselves. And while there are people like that who can figure it out themselves, if you break it down, you'll realize that your time is valuable, very, very valuable as well. And you can spend the time going out there on YouTube and watching, tons of videos and reading blogs and all this kind of crap, and try to piece a puzzle together that is from a bunch of different places. You have like some information from here, some information from here, and you try to piece it all together where it's impossible to know what's right and what's wrong, what's good and what's bad. Some of these videos are years old, literally, 2-3 years old. So when you try to go at it alone, especially with information that isn't, relevant, you're going to hurt yourself, and you're going to risk losing thousands of dollars, especially if you don't have some sort of mentor or some sort of person to keep you accountable. So that's one of the biggest things you should consider, is either getting a program or something like that to make this happen. Now, obviously I have a program, but go out there and get any program you want, any person you like how they teach, any person that they can help you, that they've done it before. Go out, enroll in their program. It's really not a big investment when you consider how much money you could potentially lose going at this alone. Okay, so that's number 7. Number 8 is to outsource work in your business. A lot of the times what I've realized is that people, before they even get started with their business, before they even make a single dollar, before they even make a single sale, before they do anything in their business, they're looking to outsource their work. They're looking to, and this is, the reason I say this is because, and probably if you're watching this, you probably know who you are. One of the people who messaged me, one of my students messaged me, and they told me that they had spent, I believe, like $700 or $800 for someone to go out there, find them a product, find them a supplier, and all they had to do was kind of pay. They just had to pay the $700, $800, and then they had to pay for the inventory, and it was all going to be said and done. And the reality of the situation is, when he showed me the product that the person found, it was really bad. It was not a good product, and if he had invested in that product, he probably would have lost hundreds or probably thousands of dollars. And when you think about, a situation like that, it makes me feel really bad, because a lot of people out there are going to prey on you. A lot of people out there who are like, people who can say that they can optimize your listings, or find you good products, or, do all that kind of stuff for you, find you suppliers. They're recycling their work. So let's say you have like, they find one product and they sell that same product with that same supplier to 5 different people, or 10 different people, or 20 different people, because they know that you're never going to know who else they sold it to. So before you can outsource work in your business, make sure that you know how to do it yourself, right? The whole thing of teaching a man to fish versus giving him a fish. Of course, you're never going to succeed if you don't know how to fish. You'll survive maybe for a little bit, but at the end of the day, you will die. And the same thing for your business if you start to outsource it too early. So that's one of my biggest advice for you guys. Learn how to do it before you look out to hire from someone. On that same note, right, there's a lot of clowns that say they can optimize your listings. And if you guys haven't watched my last video on how to optimize your listing in terms of the copywriting, making your text really, really awesome, and your features, and just making it the best it can possibly be, check out, I'll put a thing somewhere up here, and you'll be able to see exactly how I optimize my listings with a super awesome free app. Number 9 is not having product instructions. Now, I know this might sound pretty stupid just right now, but let me just go a little bit in depth here. When I first started, one of my first ever products, I thought the product was so freaking obvious that I wouldn't have to include instructions, because I was like, you literally have to be brain dead not to understand how to use this. And believe it or not, guys, I got a pretty good amount of negative feedback on my seller account, and I also got some pretty bad reviews from people who were really upset that there were no instructions included. Now, what I actually did is I didn't include instructions in the product packaging, but what I did was I actually would email it out to people. And that's the mistake right there. So first thing you want to do is always have instructions in your product, no matter how easy and obvious you think the product is. 2, do not just email stuff out to people, because what happens is a lot of people on Amazon actually have their emails disabled. A lot of people spam customers, and customers get pissed and unsubscribe from Amazon's emails. So even though I had an automated email sequence that would go out to each person and tell them exactly how to use their product, probably around 40% of them weren't ever getting that email. Maybe another 20 or 30% weren't even seeing that email. So you were missing out on probably 7 out of 10 people weren't seeing your instructions. So they're getting pissed, they were leaving bad reviews, negative feedback, and it just overall can destroy your product. So make sure that you're adding instructions into every single product, no matter how obvious and easy you might think it is. And lastly, number 10, guys, I want to do something pretty awesome and unique here. What I want to do is I want to make number 10 your mistake. So I want to make this kind of video a little bit of a forum where we can go and we can share our mistakes with others. So basically what I'm going to ask you to do is for number 10, I want you guys to go in the comments below and write down your biggest mistake as a beginner that you ever made. So whatever it was, you know, your biggest mistake that you've made or that you've run into or that you've noticed people making around you. So leave a comment down below. And what we're going to be able to do with this is actually, you know, go down there, scroll through there and read exactly what other people have done. So, you know, other mistakes that other people have done. So I want this to be, again, just kind of a forum where we can go down, scroll down, talk to each other and kind of see what other mistakes I've missed, what other mistakes I haven't thought of, and maybe haven't noticed. So go down there, comment down below your biggest mistake you've made, and then, you know, I'll go through there, probably also message and maybe help you guys out there as well. All right. So that is pretty much for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, remember to smash that like button. If you want to see other cool, awesome content on the channel, then click right here. And if you guys are new to the channel, then remember to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.